Hey, Scott here, and today we're talking about SEO for attorneys, more specifically on the concept of straight up backlinks. And I hate that word backlinks. Since 2005 of being in the SEO world, I've worked with a variety of different businesses, and more so over the last almost decade or so, specifically with attorneys and professionals, chiropractors and dentists that are out there. And when I hear the term backlink, a red flag always goes up. There's a certain amount of information that could be dangerous for you, and that seems to be the majority of SEO experts that are out there. And when I hear about inbound linking strategies and content is king and backlink strategies and whatnot, I immediately recognize that the education that was received for that person who's speaking about that is most likely, in my opinion, from the wrong spot. And I feel like that there's two types of people in the SEO world. There are those that reverse engineer the algorithm, and then there are those that are true marketers. I don't think that there's really much in between. Sure, there may be some strategies that you may jump over from one or the other, but the fact is I firmly, wholeheartedly believe the only way to win at SEO is to be an effective marketer. When we define, and I've got some other videos and blog posts in regards to this, so I'm not going to get deep into it, but defining what marketing is, according to the American Marketing Association, now I'm not paraphrasing word for word, but it essentially is creating material, creating a marketing message and delivering that marketing message where your potential audience, customers, clients, prospects would reside. It's as simple as that. You could think about all marketing strategies, whether it's a billboard on the highway or direct email marketing, paid advertising, or even SEO. So on that note, knowing that there's two types of SEO people that are out there, when I hear backlink, I immediately put them into the category of reverse engineering the algorithm. And granted, you can get results that way. I have to admit, the first 6-7 years of my SEO career were within that time frame. And then one day the light bulb went on and went, wait a minute, what specifically is Google really looking for? Where are they going? If we can get an understand of what they're trying to do, we can produce and create that infrastructure and be ready for them. And since then, well, go and look at our portfolio in terms of some of the results that we've received. We genuinely have some fantastic results. Now, that doesn't mean that SEO is easy. It's not. To me, it seems simple, but it's not easy at all. There's quite a bit of work in it. We can't get successes. Back in the day, we were charging $1,000 a month for a service, and we just can't get those successes anymore for that price point. And so today, I want to show you an effective backlink strategy for an attorney. And remember that quality is by far superior over quantity. So we have a mix of different things. And when I'm going through some of these link building strategies per se, recognize that each one of these strategies can hold weight on its own without SEO. In other words, it's good marketing. It's transparent, authoritative exposure. And let's face it, transparent, authoritative exposure is the type of marketing message that you want to convey for your business, whether it's offline or online. So let's take a look here at some of these strategies that we deploy for our clients and what they might look like and elements like that. In local SEO, there are 3 pillars that I like to focus on in terms of creating content and exposure. And think of it like CPR, like reviving your business. The C and the P and the R. Well, C stands for content. The P stands for profiles, and R stands for reputation. I'm going to jump to the P, the profiles, and that's what we're looking at right now. And these are the Yelps of the world, the Angie's List, the Judy's books, and they say acquire citations that are out there. Really, a citation by definition is just a web reference of a business. It's where a business is listed and it's got its name, address, and phone number. And of course, within that profile set, there's certain elements that are important. Maybe that's a video on its own. But we're acquiring 30 new citations manually a month. And as a secondary approach that we apply for our clients is a cloud-based propagation service, which is Yext. So Yext is not the end-all be-all, mark my words for that, nor is it's not cheap. There's just some good price to it. But between those two strategies, we are able to remove the duplicates, suppress any duplicate profiles that are out there, and manual acquisition allows us to claim and own the citation rather than a data overlay like a cloud performance system like Yext. What Yext does is it just ensures consistency on a quick basis just to get it out of the gate. After 6 months, we will cancel that service for that client. The C, content. Content is very important. Content that resides for your own business and content that's out there in the world that gives you additional trust and authority. Now, blog content is writing a good blog piece is not something that you can just slap together. I take a lot of time and rewrites with my blog content and ensure that there are certain minimums and certain standards that we follow and whatnot. So Google picks up different elements of snippets of information. You can see here that I've got a list of activities. Well, lists are very good. I'm identifying the activity with bolding and specifically what's going to happen here with an H2 tag. Google likes to see this type of stuff. They like to see content that is at least 1,000 words long. We shoot for a minimum of 1,500 words. Sometimes we're looking at 1,300 words. I think this blog article here is about 1,400 words. And then internal linking within that blog content. So let's take a look here at, so here I'm talking about a little bit of a story of Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the founders of Google, and I've got a link out to their Wikipedia because I am referencing some information from Wikipedia. So there's an authoritative source. We go down a little bit more. Here I'm talking about marketing, and I'm referring to the American Marketing Association. In other words, if you remember, as an attorney, when you were in school and your professor asked you to put together an essay of sort, and you had to have your work cited at the end, and the relevance of that and the importance of that, it's critical. And that's what we do when we create content, is we reference stuff. And I had a marketing professor tell me once, he said, if you're copying somebody else's work, that's plagiarism. But if you're copying 3 people's work to create your own, that's research. And that's really what marketing essentially is. A lot of us don't have any new, fresh ideas, but it's a regurgitation of different ideas and ultimately citing the source of where you get that information. It's ethical. So Google puts a lot of weight into outbound links like that for trust and authority. Offering value, here you can download an attorney marketing plan. You take a look at this plan right here. You can go ahead and download it yourself right now as an attorney. It's a template that we utilize, but it's extensive. I mean, this is an MBA quality marketing plan for your firm. So, but it's important to start and have a plan before you do any additional SEO. So high authority blog content is critical. We do a minimum of a couple of pieces a month, and then we take those blog pieces and then we turn those blog pieces into a interactive talking head video. These videos are real simple. It's scripted based off the blog. Have a nice looking, well-spoken, highly educated actor or actress, and here we add just different B-roll to the video. And
when a person suffers an injury or an accident and someone else is legally responsible,
and so once that blog post is turned into a video, that video is then embedded on that blog, is propagated through the social media channels. It is hosted on the YouTube channel. We create a good thumbnail for it. We optimize it on the YouTube channel with effective titles, effective tags, different hashtags, descriptions, the old follow us and that type of stuff. So we're building up a video library. Typically when we're creating these videos and this content is driven based off of buyer objections. So think about it. When your buyers, your consumers, your clients, nobody wants an attorney. Plain and simple. It's a very emotional experience, and with that emotion, I don't want to say you want to prey on the opportunity for individuals to make decisions, but when somebody's emotional, and you can offer them relief, that's fundamentally the business to business buying cycle. Um, and when you're providing relief to a consumer, you're beginning to build that relationship. And so a lot of your blog content should ultimately be asking a lot of those questions that, as a matter of fact, we're putting together some videos right now. I'll just fly over and show you right now.
The amount of time that you have to file a claim in Massachusetts after you're injured, a lot of people don't understand that actual time frame. You have 4 years from the date.
So, like, this is a typical question that this attorney would face on a regular basis. How long do I have to file a claim in Massachusetts after I'm injured? The fact is once we create that blog content, create that video content, and put it all together, that specific search phrase is going to be very, very, very easy to rank for. Just based off of these two strategies right here alone. Press releases. I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way of doing press releases. There's 101 press release distribution services out there. And you could waste a lot of time and money in getting it out there. And you could also spend a lot of money getting the press out into the right spots. The point is you really want it. The whole point in here is to get backlinks, right, that we're talking about. But a press release is a way for a business to share something that's happening that's kind of exciting that the local community might want to know about. I've got some content on my blog of 10 different or 15 different press release ideas for attorneys. You'd be surprised on how easy it is to create content. And in addition, how easy it is to get that type of exposure that's out there. And whatever firm you do go with for your press release distribution services, you want to ensure, like in this case here, we got distributed on 257 different news sites, including Google, Fox, ABC, NBC. You need to be there. And sometimes you got to play to pay. Or pay to play. It was released on, and here's a list of, where is the list of all the different sites with links linking out to each of those different sources. Guest posts. Now, I've been in this business for a long time, and over the last 15 years, we'll be at 15 years next month. So 14 years, 11 months, built relationships with a variety of different website owners, blogs, forums, hosts, profiles, directories out there that are partners of ours. And more so in the last 6 years have built it out with attorneys. And so what we'll do is we will create content, submit it to our partners. They will publish that content. They're happy that they're getting free content written by, we do have an attorney on staff that writes our content, written by a true legitimate attorney in the United States. They have that privilege. That content to them is for free, but in return, we get links back to us. And so they publish our content with a link back to us or a couple of link backs to us, and they follow a lot of the same standards that we've talked about already with some of our blog content. And these posts should be on high authority, industry related content, not just Johnny's blog down there that you've given some content. Theme related. So if you're an attorney that works, if you're a PI attorney that works with car accidents, maybe a car mechanic site would be a good place to create some content for and whatnot. Here's an example of a health-related blog, and the content is related to, a bruised brain. Well, this happens to be for a personal injury attorney, and here we are trying to rank for the term brain injury attorney. Guest post, foundational link building. There's a lot of different Web 2.0 websites out there, probably hundreds of them. And with a foundational link building strategy, what we'll do is we'll create a whole variety of different mini sites that are out there, 3-4 page websites that are just informative on the most basic fronts. And these mini sites then have links fired to them from Web 2.0 sites. And in those sites, those links are then fired over to your blog posts to help your blog posts get some inbound linking and authority. It's a nice little strategy. Having links on home pages, again, very similar to our guest post situation. Our same partners that we have relationships with allow us to partner and have homepage links. Homepages obviously have the biggest value. There's no content that supports it because there's already content on that homepage, but these link back have huge page rank value and ultimately highly support that. And again, you only want exposure in an industry related content because that's where your audience is ultimately looking, and they spend a lot of time and money in getting their traffic to their sites. Social media, God, don't spend your time and money on social media marketing for your attorney firm. I've seen it in so many different facets over the years and really want it to work, but how many people are following their attorney on Twitter? And if they're really following you, that's not really a means to get that out there. However, certain channels are important for attorneys. Obviously, the big one for professionals of LinkedIn and consumers for Facebook. Those are important. And there's certain social media channels that are very good to propagate your content. When you create the content for, boom, send it out. These videos are supposed to be 5 minutes long, and this is obviously significantly longer than 5 minutes, so I apologize. And then, so with a social media brand lock, is what we do is we go and we'll create an account on Pinterest, Instagram, and the list goes out of 50 different social media profiles, and ultimately lock that out. We're not spending the time and energy in building those out there or anything like that, but you can see quite a bit of different social media from Moz, the Vox, and GameSpot and whatnot, and it's really just locking your brand out so others can't do it. It does give you a little bit of exposure. It demonstrates to the search engines, hey, you're making an effort to maintain your brand consistency. And then blog syndication. This is taking your blog content. This is a paid service that we engage in. It's very similar to press release, but it's not a true press release. In this case here, we're syndicating blogs to 57 different sites. This happens to be on a county-based site, and they picked up this content here because they feel like that it offered value to the firm and to their audience, and it's the exact same content that is being published on your blog, which links back to you, and it says somewhere up here, where does it say, originally posted on that site there, and that gives you authority, exposure. It gives you your map access and all that wonderful stuff. When did I lose it? Oh, I went there. Should have gone there. So those are 9 strategies. We've got 3 other strategies that I'm not currently talking about. If you'd like to talk about those as an attorney, just go ahead and fill out the form on this on our website, or go to onemarketing.com, and we'll be in touch with you, and we'll put together and demonstrate what a plan would look like for your law firm. Thank you.